Hey everyone, Kris here for Thomann's Guitars and Basses. In today's Master Your Tone, I want to show you my favorite ways to thicken a guitar tone. In today's video, we're not trying to fix a guitar tone that you don't really like. It's much more about a guitar tone that you can connect with. You just kind of miss something that makes it more exciting, more, well, thick and rich, or just glued together to make it fit the song and the style that you're playing. I'll show you my top 3+1 things that I like to do, and they always work. Depending on the style, I'll choose one of these. Let's start with the mid-range. I'm talking about a specific circuit, which is the Klon circuit, the Klon style pedals. It does not matter if you take a budget version, mid-priced or a super expensive one, they all have one thing in common, and that's this drive knob, this really special thing, because it's a blend knob. It goes from 100% transparent, clean sound, if it's at 0, up to a very much mid-boosted drive tone if it's cranked. So with that knob, you can get anywhere in between. What I love doing with that is finding that sweet spot where it starts to push the mids, but it doesn't distort yet. And with that, you can thicken up single coil guitars or just cut through a mix much better with single note lines. The second thing I love doing is using a subtle phaser. Now, this doesn't always work. It depends on the style, the song, etc. But if it's enough subtle, you cannot really tell that it's a phaser, especially not in a band mix. But it does give something to, first of all, the mid-range, because it kind of moves around as it phases. And also, it just makes your sound a bit more interesting and a bit just more of everything. What usually helps is if the phaser has, first of all, a mix knob that you can mix in the right amount of phasing, and you should definitely go down with the feedback that it's not that aggressive and not that obvious. This third trick is something that is pretty obvious for a lot of players, but there are a lot of others who just don't even think of this type of effect for thickening a guitar tone. And I'm talking about an analog delay. It's really important to use an analog delay for this kind of thickening because it has a warm type of repeat that's not in the way. You will not really hear it, especially if you go down with the feedback and the mix and the delay time. And the +1, which is arguably the most important +1 ever. It's using an EQ pedal. I think every single guitar and bass player should have an EQ pedal. It is the mightiest of all tools. You can use it in a subtle way. You can go absolutely nuts with it. And it does allow you to tailor those little things that help you to, as told, cut through a mix if you're playing with a band, or just thicken up your tone, which is really, really useful. One important thing about EQ pedals, if you want them to have a radical effect, place them after your drives. So if you're using overdrive pedals, just put the EQ after them. If you're using an amp overdrive, put it in the effects loop. What are your favorite ways of tailoring your guitar tone, making it sound thicker, or just making it sound right? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, with all this tone talk aside, what really matters is to enjoy playing the guitar, regardless of the rig and how good it sounds. See you in the next one.